A metal egg-shaped UFO was stored in Area 51, says a military contractor. In 1980s, a metallic egg-shaped UFO was transported to the infamous Area 51, a not-so-secret military base in Nevada of the United States. It was stated by Eric Tabor, who previously worked for 13 years as a military contractor in the U.S. aerospace industry, and the story was told to him by his uncle, Sam Urquhart, who was also working as a contractor on military bases, including the same Area 51. He said that CIA engineers discovered a metal egg-shaped craft somewhere in the desert and brought it to Area 51 for research, but the object was later sent to another base as they could not get inside the object. In May 2023, Tabor told AARO that the Pentagon's new UFO research unit that the story was given unverified status since the main eyewitness had already passed away. Tabor said he became close to his grandfather, Sam, in 2012 when he moved to the same town. Knowing that his grandfather worked at Area 51, Tabor repeatedly asked him about rumors of UFOs and aliens, but his grandfather usually would not tell him. But one day he succumbed to persuasion. He said, "My uncle served in the Air Force for 28 years as an E8, that's equivalent to first sergeant. He worked at Area 51 from 1997 to 2014, was the security chief of its engineering team and a data modeler. His team conducted cross-sectional testing of the radar. I kept asking about UFOs and he said, I don't know anything. But one day we were sitting on the back porch of his house and he said, okay, I'll tell you about this boat I knew, the craft I knew of." He said that when he first arrived at the base in 1997, he had a personal conversation with a senior engineer whose team was tasked with getting inside a strange craft that some CIA people had brought there in the 1980s. And it was found that same year in a remote desert location and was completely intact. The senior engineer described to my uncle that the object was oval in shape, about the size of an SUV, smooth and seamless, appeared to be made of a silvery gray unknown material, a metal, with no visible rudder, no fins, no inlets, no outlets, no writing or symbols anywhere. And these were the best engineers you could think of. They tried without success to figure out what power source it was powered by and how to activate it. They also tried to connect power to it. The X-rays could not penetrate the object, and it appeared as a completely solid object in the X-ray pictures. They tried to open it up and penetrate the body, but that also failed. They said they were able to get some very small samples of the material. I'm not a chemist, but I think based on the isotope ratio of mix of elements, they concluded that it was not made on Earth. Makes sense that since they couldn't drill into it. The strange object was then eventually sent to another base, possibly White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico, and that was the last the engineers heard of it. However, later there was an unexpected continuation of the story. My uncle collected radar data and transferred it to secure storage facilities. While in one of these secure data storage facilities in the main control building, on the wall, he saw a crystal close-up color photograph of the exact same object that the superior engineer told him of. Unfortunately, the photo remained somewhere in the vaults. Sam Urquhart was unable to obtain it as evidence and now has only the story. He told me that the American people will probably never see this object. Sam Urquhart died in 2022 at the age of 75. He also has a photo of his team taken in the year 2000 as a memento of his work at Area 51. And this is inexplicable, of course. This I've translated from a Greek article for you. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.